How the devil are you guys? Welcome to episode 3's highlights of me mooching around the Frost Alpha build. And you're thinking, why highlights? Well, unfortunately, my audio got so corrupted for this video that I had to, scrap it. So I thought I'd throw together the best highlights really of what I did, how I failed. Because let's face it, anyone who's seen me knows that I fail a lot. Well, I started off upstairs and I actually managed to stay hidden long enough for the NPC to go back downstairs and leave me alone long enough to sleep. However, I didn't get enough sleep, so I woke up tired, thirsty and hungry as you would expect, and the only real benefit was that I healed my crippled leg. So I decided to have a mooch back down and go back the other way. Now, this heavily armed female cannibal, I think, a female, yeah, I decided to try taking her on the first time.
What the?
See if, I kind of gave the game away. And like the ghouls, I decided if I aim for the head, because the whole point about Frost is use your blocking, even though it didn't really work there, and go for the head of the body. You do far more damage to the head of the body. Now, I've later found out, I decided to sneak the second time. I've later found out, reading the comments on the mod page and some of the forums and stuff, that the cannibals in this area are all skull enemies. They're all several levels higher than me, which is why the next 2 or 3 episodes is me getting very frustrated, very annoyed, and almost to the point where with my back, this is in real life, with my back injury the other week playing up, I was in quite a bit of pain, and this game was frustrating the hell out of me. So by the time we reach episode 5, I'm in pure rage meltdown, which is quite amusing. Hopefully you'll not laugh at me too much. However, after episode 5 I will be uploading the start of my proper playthrough, because there's already a newer version of Frost up, and I believe the Tunnel Runner mod, I believe that mod author has been talking to the mod author of Frost, and they're going to incorporate those tunnels and those subways. Is it Tunnel Runner? No, Subway Runner. They're going to incorporate that mod into Frost and expand the subway system. Now, as you saw, I aimed for the head, failed, and got killed in one shot. And then I sort of killed myself because I was planting mines. I didn't see him. Yes, I do this is about 3 or 4 minutes of me montaging fail. Got the mines down, but they ran through the mines and killed me. Now, to be fair, I know Frost is pretty much, it's like take it or leave it. The enemies are going to be able to survive things you wouldn't, because they're just all the health's been up to like mad. But I do get a feeling I sort of did it to myself by coming down here to lower level and taking on enemies higher than me in a mod where they're already made stronger. So and now I failed. I failed again. I was getting quite frustrated in this episode, never mind episode 5. So yeah, I then decided, plant another mine, try it again, and come on, can I escape? Can I escape? I ran around a bit. I threw that high, set them both on fire, probably set myself on fire and did more damage, and then I ran on top of my mine that I forgot was there. Yeah, you can see the fail already, can't you? I then went for sod it, I'll stick a stealth buy on and leg it. Oh, was it that one? No, it wasn't. I went for the get them to come in, but I would stay up here instead of dropping down and just throw grenades and mines at them while they stood there. But the AI was a bit smart and decided to run away. So I threw a few grenades down the tunnel, a grenade up there, Molotovs here and there. He ran in, missed both the mines. You can imagine my frustration level was getting quite high by now. I mean, they're running through plasma grenades, and they were better aimed than me. As you saw, that was a grenade behind me. Luckily, it was far enough away that I didn't die. I think the wall blocked a lot of it. So I then threw my toxic grenade up there. Or was it a Molotov? I can't remember. He finally stood on the mines, didn't die. And my general frustration was rising by the minute. I was almost at a point where I was turning into the Hulk. Which would have been amusing, because I don't think my keyboard would have handled that. However, this is the whole point of a mod like Frost, to get you frustrated and to make you want to come back. The actual... Then I did that. Yeah, I fail a lot. The whole point of a mod like Frost is that the world itself is so... What have they done with it? You want to go and explore it, but everything wants to kill you, and kill you quite easily. Now, I do know that I have chosen the hardest way to get out, and I did that because I made a rookie mistake. Yeah, I made a noob mistake, rookie mistake. I assumed... Is it now going to mod offer? I assumed he'd left the... Well, I assumed he'd left the map marker on as a guide for the quickest way out. Whether it was the easiest or hardest, nope, the quickest way out. No, the game just automatically told me it was the quickest way out, but this happens to be the hardest way out. So I've come down here, too lower level, understocked, underprepared, and no way of getting back up. So I pretty much can't get out. I've pretty much put myself into a situation where it is, let's say, I don't know, not impossible, but so mathematically improbable that I'm going to get out of here that there's no point me even attempting to. So after the end of the 5th episode of me just generally exploring the subway systems, trying to find my way out, I'm going to restart. And it's not too bad a problem, because of course with the restart I will be able to go back to version 1.1 or 1.2, whatever it will be on at the time. And I believe character creation is actually working by then. As you saw, I threw that mine behind him, he took it full force, and I was the one who took most of the damage. The damage actually went through him and nearly killed me. So, yeah. You kind of got to accept Frost for what it is, unless you're prepared to go and download different mods. There are other mods out there that allow you to change all the globals, like how much damage they do to you and how much damage you do to them, and etc. Several of those. Take your pick if you want the Frost world and the Frost adventure and the Frost lore, but you don't want the over buffed, over stimulated super soldiers that you're going up against. Now I know that technically they take the same damage as I do. Most of my problem is the fact that I'm going up against skull enemies at a too lower level. Now as you saw, I couldn't get out the other way. I actually cut out a lot of footage where I cheated for 5 minutes, toggled free cam, and seen how much further along I had to go. And it was so far I knew there was no way I was going to make it. So I decided to come back the direction we were previously, go past my bed and continue in that direction. And that was fun. You're going to see why for the next few minutes. Now, having been trying to fight several of them, I thought, well, there's only one in this room. Let's see what I can do. And this is before I'd read that I'd come the way where all the skull enemies were, and I was having major trouble with them because not only was I playing Frost, they were all several levels higher than me. So she's just ran through a plasma grenade, now a frag grenade, and then I get the Ripper out, go for the head, and die in one hit. You can see why I was starting to get a little green at this point. It was just a good job I wasn't wearing purple bloody shorts. Or trousers actually, because they technically started out as trousers, which I always find amazing about the Incredible Hulk, because if they're stretchy material, then why do the bottoms rip? But if they're not stretchy material, then how do the top parts not rip when the thighs are more muscular than the calves. How does that work? Anyway, never mind. Because you think about it, if you've got jeans on, your calf part is normally the baggy part, and your thigh part is normally the tight part of your pants. Or your trousers, whichever side of the pond you're on. So having said that, I then decided to sneak past her. Went through all the tunnels near the bed that I stayed in. Said hello to the shotgun that I picked up that I dropped. And then I got to this room with all the dead bodies and ghouls. Now what I do like about Dust is that the ghouls don't just chase you everywhere you go. They're quite docile, a lot of them. And they just sit around. There's a few that will come after you, but quite a few will just sit there, so it does make sneaking past them easier. And ghouls, as you can see, these enemies weren't skull enemies, so I was just taking them out with the Ripper to the head. And then they all got up, so I decided to leg it. Because taking 1 or 2 on at a time would have been okay. Taking about 6 on, no thank you. I then got to this room, which was the dead end. Yeah, I kind of wandered around for ages, taking on ghouls, taking too many rads to mention, to be honest. It was ridiculous how many rads I was getting. And up there on those pipes, I think it was in the next episode, you'll see it in episode 4, there was a gun waiting for me, but we'll go back to that when you see it in episode 4. Needless to say, I wandered around, I killed the ghouls by sneaking up on them and putting the Ripper through their skulls. I tried to jump up onto the only way out of this room that wasn't the way I came in, and it just wasn't happening. I tried going into the corners, tried to find higher ground, seeing if there was any ledges to walk over to it. It wasn't happening. Nope. But as it turns out, this does actually go somewhere, and you'll find out later on in another episode. So yeah, just to the left of me, this here, I couldn't get up there, but that was the only other way out of the room, other than the way I came in. Yeah, there you go. You can see the entrance if you jump up and have a look. There's no way of climbing up there, no way of getting there. So then I headed back towards the 6 ghouls, but I didn't get all the way to them. I decided to have a sneak down another room. As you can see, it's not taking much damage until I get him on the head. So yeah, best piece of advice, if you're up against ghouls, aim for the head all the damn time. They've pretty much been turned into the atypical zombie. Kill them through the head. So yeah, I came back this way. At this stage I was tired again and beginning to suffer from, well, hunger. There was plenty of irradiated water. I'd had plenty of water to drink, but I found a bed, some cram and some Salisbury steak. And yeah, I didn't exactly have enough to cure my hunger or my tiredness, but I went for it. And that was episode 3.